trading group, and on November 21st, coming back with a nice day thanks to cannabis stocks. The last couple of days, the cannabis sector has had a nice little recovery. They have gotten absolutely decimated over the last several months. These stocks have really come back down to earth. The valuations have come back down to reality. But there was a vote in the U.S. that gets us a step closer to federally legal marijuana in the U.S., and the cannabis stocks have rallied off of that strong day the last 2 days. And coming into the day today, we had some continuation gap ups, and I was looking for day 3 of that move today and some continuation and some follow through momentum. So the key really to this trade on Canopy Growth that I made today, which worked out perfectly, right to the game plan. My final take profit was spot on, and I'll get into that with you guys in a second. But really the key today is I was looking for momentum. I'm looking for signs that the stock still had momentum and was going to give me follow through and continuation. There was a very specific price action, a very specific move that Canopy made, CGC, that gave me that signal. And that's when I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and I was right, and we got really good follow through and continuation. That's what I'm going to cover with you on CGC. I also made 2 trades today, one in HEPA, one in WAFU, 2 small caps that were active in the morning and then ended up dying out later in the day and turned out to be really good shorts, but I traded them long in the morning. We'll cover that with I'll cover that with you guys as well. But the main thing we're going to focus on here is Canopy. This is where I made all my money today. All right. So let's go to the daily chart first. And you guys see the daily chart here. You guys can see here's the move that we've had because of that news. Real nice day yesterday for Canopy. Real strong volume, kind of a reversal signal for us. And coming into the day today, oh, you know what? Let me add. I don't have my let me add, because on this chart, I don't have the 50 days. So let me just add it. All right, there we go. Let me just edit, change the color. All right, there we go. Okay, because I'm going to need that. The 50 days is important in my game plan for this video, so I want to make sure I have this on the chart for you guys. All right, so here we go. So now I'm looking for, we were gapping up today above yesterday's highs and above this previous little resistance level. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. This is this previous gap fill and prior support, and it's also yesterday's high. See yesterday's high right there. So this level was important for us at yesterday's high. Let's leave that line there. Let's go to the intraday chart. Look at where that line sits. Okay, that's the line I just drew on the daily chart. You see how it lines up perfectly with yesterday's high. This is the key to me recognizing that Canopy had momentum. I want you guys to notice, okay, we opened up, established an initial morning high, and pull in. Look at where we found support. Okay, right in front of yesterday's high. This is that same line that we drew pre-market. Okay. Here it is. Let me draw it exactly. There you go. There's yesterday's high. So you see we pull in and we find support right there at yesterday's high. But this price action right here is what told me that this stock still has momentum. Why? We pulled in, just barely touched yesterday's high for a moment and ripped right through the high of the day. That action is what told me this stock still has momentum. This stock did not come down here and do this. Okay, the stock didn't come down here and do this. Okay, this would not be telling me that the stock has a lot of momentum. I would need to wait and see get a little bit more confirmation that we were going to still make a continuation move today. But this action, this whiplash action coming down, just tapping an area of support that I'm already looking for this to be support because of the line and the level that we just drew on the daily chart. I'm looking for support to be there. And you can see how quickly we shot up. And not only did we bounce off this level, but we ripped right through what? The initial morning high. That is a sign of strength. That is an early sign of momentum. When a stock pulls in off the gap up, holds support at the first support level that it has a chance to find support at, and doesn't just bounce, rips right through the initial morning high. That's a sign of momentum. That's when I said to myself, okay, we still got momentum in these cannabis names. Canopy is in these cannabis names. Canopy is the leader in the group. And on this very first pullback, guys, I jumped in, and I jumped in here long. Let's also draw out our Fibonacci retracement levels at the time. So as soon as we bust through that initial morning high, I draw my fib level, and I've got the initial morning high and the 23.6 Fibonacci level lining up right here. This price action told me the stock has momentum, and I went ahead on this pullback, and I jumped in long Canopy at 1948. I'll take you guys to my trade announcements. Let me zoom in so you can see. Excuse me. So here we are, 940 long CGC at 1948, stop loss 1875 area. There's the entry point. Okay, then you guys can see we just consolidate here beautifully, holding support above the 23.6 Fibonacci level and the initial morning high. This orange line is VWAP, comes onto my screen, adds an area of support, and then we get a trade line VWAP crossover, and bang, and that gives us new highs. Okay, that gives us new highs, and then I just start peeling profits off the table. You guys can see here I took some profits off at 2015. I sold the bulk of my position at 2052. And then I'm too far zoomed in. And then my final take profit on Canopy at 21.25 just before noon. Okay, my final take profit was right there. Okay, why is this my final take profit at 21.25? I wanted to get out before 21.50. Okay, I wanted to get out before 21.50. Why? Why am I looking at 21.50 as my take profit? Let's go back and delete all of this. Clean the chart up a little bit. All right, why do I want to get out there? Let's go back to the daily chart. Here it is. Previous pivot resistance high lines up dead even with the 50-day moving average. That is why 21.50 was my target, and it is not a coincidence that the high of the day is 21.56. My final take profit, 21.25. Really nice trade, guys. Worked out perfectly. The game plan was spot on. The take profit was perfect. You can see we pulled back in the rest of the day. Maybe we get some more. You know, I would love to see these cannabis stocks come back to life in the to finish out the year. They've really gotten beaten down badly. So for them to wake up could provide us for some really nice action, some really good trade opportunities. Canopy would be the one that I would trade the most. It has good range and it has tremendous liquidity, and you can I can get some good size, and I can catch 1 or 2 points on a nice chunk position, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on if the cannabis sector really does heat up. This is definitely the most significant bounce that we have seen in the sector since it's gotten beaten down. You guys can see the volume coming in here on this bounce is just big. It's just significant. So it's not been a kind 2019 for the cannabis sector, but hopefully things are starting to turn around. Okay, so that was a really nice trade there, and again, that is a good that's a good lesson on how you guys can look to identify early if a stock still has momentum from a strong move that it made the day prior. All right, now let's get to the small caps, which I really couldn't get anything going on them. I was able to take profits off. On a piece of my position, but the bulk of the position I ended up taking losses on, but taking profits off on the piece ended up really helping me out on these trades. The thing about HEPA, what I'm going to talk to you about, is recognizing when a stock has a glaring opportunity. It is so blatantly obvious that the stock looks like it's going to break down, but ends up holding. You have to pay attention to it, because you guys can see here that this is a very obvious support level for the stock. Okay, you guys see the support level, and then VWAP was a very obvious resistance level. We broke through VWAP, went up here and tested the high of the day, got rejected and pulled all the way back down. That was the perfect opportunity for this stock to crap out. This failed move through VWAP is the perfect chance for the stock to break the support level, but it didn't. Okay, it held. And then we did it again. See, we break through VWAP, and then again get rejected at VWAP, and then push ourselves all the way back down to where? The low of the day again. This stock had not one but 2 opportunities to break below this support level. And the fact that it held in there was a sign to me that we had a chance to make a move. So once we held in, not once but twice, and then got back above VWAP again, what has changed? What made me pull the trigger this time and not previously? What's different? Now the trade line is here. So prior, this support level is holding all by itself without any help. Now the trade line comes into play. So now I'm thinking to myself, this stock had one chance, two chance to break down. The support held, but now the cavalry's here. The trade line is moving up to create an extra layer of support. Now I'm going to get long. And I went ahead and got long right there. Take you guys my trade announcement so you guys can see I'm long HEPA at 415. All right. Long here at 415. We end up pushing through the high of the day. And I go ahead and take some profits off the table on the new high of the day. Took some off at $4.35. And now I'm sitting here saying to myself, I would like to see this initial morning high now become support. And you can see we were trying. Look at how the stock is trying to hold this support level. We were putting in a mini TTG triangle, and we just didn't have enough juice to break through it. We had this big, strong rejection candle. And once we failed, okay, at that level, I just said, I'm done with this. I'm not sticking around. And I exited right there as soon as we dropped down below VWAP, and I exited that position at $4. So a nice little profit, 20-cent profit, guys, on 25% of my position, and then a 15-cent loss on the bulk of the position. Okay, so wasn't really able to get anything going on that trade. I really had high hopes for HEPA, actually, once it broke through the high of the day and started to hold. I thought maybe we had a chance to extend, but that breakdown candle just said, okay, you know what, I'm done here. This thing is not as strong as we thought, and I'm glad I bailed on it because you guys can see the stock just died the rest of the day. All right. Then you had WAFU. WAFU was a stock that we halted a bunch of times today, got volume absolutely out of nowhere. I do not trade these things when the volume is this light. You can see right out of the gate we halted with pathetic volume. That's not nearly enough volume to get my attention. We opened up out of the halt. We halted again. Again, pathetic volume, not nearly enough to get my attention. And then we opened up off the halt, pushed higher. But this time, volume was there. That time, that's enough volume for me to pay attention to. The reason why, guys, I don't pay attention to these halts when the volume is super, super light, because a lot of times it can just be a chat room that's coming in, piles onto a low float stock, causes the halt, gets other traders' attentions. They jump on once trading resumes, and the chat room dumps out of it. It's just not something that I go after. I usually like to make sure that these stocks have consistent volume, and it's not just volume in, volume out. Okay, so that's why I'll never trade something when it halts with that low volume. And then I want to talk to you guys about this halt. Okay, because after this halted, we shot up, the volume came in, we pulled back in, we halted it actually again on the way down. So we halted again on the way down. That's two halts right at that same price, right around $4. There we are. First one, second one. Okay, and off of that halt, you can see we held $4 and continued higher. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, now we've got a potential setup here. Okay, we've got the 38.2 Fibonacci level lining up with these halt prices. The trade line was coming up, and we started to form, okay, a bit of a little wedge pattern here. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This thing's got a chance. I'm going to jump in here, and I went ahead. When we popped our head out of here, I got long right here at 5.15. Take you guys to my trade announcements. Here you can see I'm long WAFU at 5.15. Okay, and you can see we get this nice little breakout move. We get through the high of the day. I take some profits off the table on that high of the day. Here you guys can see I took some profit off at 5.92. It's about a, what is that? 15% gain. Okay, from that entry. There's the first take profit, and we got a real nice increase in volume. It looked like we were going to go, but just crapped out. And as soon as we pulled this back in, I said, screw that, I'm getting out of this thing, and I ended up exiting. Oh, no, actually, I think I didn't exit until down here, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sold out remaining at 478. So, yeah, it was up here. 478 is right there. Okay, so there's the exit on the rest of the position. The lesson really, guys, with WAFU, if you guys follow my channel, you know, just a couple days ago, I posted a video that says be smart, not greedy. And that sometimes new traders can become infatuated and be in awe of stocks like KRTX that just make these monster moves. And I was explaining to you that that's not the norm, and I don't want you to go ahead and place your trades expecting those type of moves, because it could have been very easy for you to have thought that with WAFU. You could have been very easy to think WAFU was going to $7, $8, $9, low float. It was halting. It was at all-time highs. This is all-time highs, guys. You can take a look here. See, we broke above. That was the previous all-time high. We were well above it earlier in the day when it made that move. So it could have been very easy for you to have gotten greedy with this and not taken profit on that first move. And if that was the case and you were greedy because you were infatuated with those huge movers, and that's causing you to develop bad habits and not take profits when you should, you get caught in a failed breakout like that, and then it turns into a good short and just rolls over the rest of the day, and you're stuck and you're caught in that. So not being greedy, being smart. It's nice for us to be able to take a lesson from a couple days ago and implement it in our trading today that works out and benefits us, and that's what we did today in WAFU with the lesson from a couple days ago. So if you missed that video, go back, check it out. It says, that how greed will end your trading career is the name of the video. Go back, check it out. It talks exactly about this point, and I'm glad we were able to implement that in our trading today. But really, guys, the story of the day is Canopy, the big win. That's where I made my money today, and we'll see if we get some follow through, and we'll close the week out strong tomorrow. I'll see you guys in chat. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, flip that notification button with your mouse. Make sure you don't miss any of my videos, guys. I put this stuff out here for you. Enjoy. Take care.